Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
See all our pretty pictures at Pulse 95 Radio on Instagram.
And we are going to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, love, and blessings. And welcome to another week of Catch a Vibe right here with me, Big Hass, on Pulse 95 Radio, Sharjah's first and only English radio station. Catch a Vibe is a show where we humanize the artists, the rappers, the songwriters, the singers, the music enthusiasts. Catch a Vibe airs every Saturday and Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. And I want to shout out all the amazing, incredible artists and songwriters. Shout out to all of you guys. And if you can hear the beat in the background, you already know, ladies and gentlemen, I got a special guest in the building. He is an amazing producer, rapper, songwriter, sound engineer. The cool thing is that he's actually in Sharjah. We got the chance to see him, and we're gonna be chopping it, together, and just to get to know him. And this is why I love Catch a Vibe as well, because it gives me the space to get to know, producers, artists, rappers, songwriters, singers, and this is the cool thing about it. From Lebanon to the world, the incredible, from Beirut, Lebanon to the world, BeatLaLipos. We're going to say Assalamu alaikum, man. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, habibi, bro. So good to be here, man. Good to be here.
It's an honor to have you. The beat we're listening in the background is a collaboration between you and DJ Lethal Skills.
The legend himself.
The legendary Lethal Skills, of course.
The father of Arabic hip-hop.
Oh, 100%. Big round of applause for DJ Lethal Skills. BeatLaLipos, man, it's an honor to see you and an honor to, just to speak with you. I got to start with, how did music get introduced to you? Like, how did you get into this world? What was it? Like, for example, I remember Skills. His story rings a bell always with me. And, it was like obviously with the war situation in Lebanon, and they were, he wanted to forget what's going on, and it was under the bunkers, and he started listening to the authentic elements of hip-hop, and he got into it.
Exactly.
What was it about music that attracted you early on?
Like, my first experience getting to know hip-hop music very specifically was honestly, I stole a CD from my brother who got it from a cousin of mine.
Oh, wow. So, shout out to your brother and cousin.
I don't know if they know this story. So I stole the CD when he was out.
Okay.
Put it on the PC. I was like 11 or 12. And
what was the CD?
It's a bunch of random softwares, random tracks, video clips. Because back then, so I'm born in 92, so that's like 2002, 2003, something like this.
Okay.
We didn't have internet at home.
Wow.
So we would rely on someone downloading music and putting them on a CD so you can listen and check.
Correct.
So this CD actually changed my life. It had, the first track I ever played was Dr. Dre's Still Dre.
La. Seriously.
And
that's crazy.
And it changed my life.
Oh, yeah.
And then I started listening to Eminem, the Slim Shady.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, that era.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the CD had Barbie Girl and had Coco Jumbo. It had some Jumbo. Random stuff, but It was surprising for me to see Dr. Dre and Snoop, to hear the music.
Was this your first experience with music, generally?
No, not
obviously, coming from Lebanon, I'm sure, you heard the Feiruzes and all that.
Definitely, heard the Feiruzes. My dad is a big fan of Ziad Rahbani, so every time, we would go to my hometown where my dad is from, which is Zahle.
Shout out to Zahle.
Shout out to Zahle. So my dad would always play Ziad Rahbani.
Of course.
And I've heard a lot of music, but I wasn't so much attracted by music. It was something pleasant for me.
Nice.
So
it took like a Dr. Dre situation.
Dr. Dre, man, changed the world, bro.
That's a fact.
So when I first heard the track, I was blown away, and I was so intrigued to listen more, and then I got to meet Eminem. And as a kid who didn't speak much emotion but is emotional inside, he resonated with me, and
wow.
I saw that hip-hop is a tool to express something that is blocked inside of me.
Wow.
So I started going there. I started rapping. I started rhyming, and at first I started rapping in English.
Yeah.
And then it was before someone heard of me that I switched to Arabic.
Well, so you started rapping before production?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. The story that got me to production is actually really interesting.
Tell me.
So I worked with I had a crew called Jnoud Beirut,
Of course.
which are the people that I started with.
Yeah.
And one of them is my neighbor in the building, and the other is with me at school.
Really?
So when we met all together and we wanted to make music and etc., going back to that CD that I stole from my brother, it
Yeah.
had like Adobe Audition.
Nice.
And it had Hip Hop EJ, which was
Yeah.
a loop-based software. So we started like doing music and it was whack. So we decided to download something from the internet.
Okay.
So we went to the internet cafe, downloaded some beats, wrote on them, recorded on the remember the old mics, the
100%.
MSN
Oof.
old mics,
Yeah.
like. So we recorded on that on Adobe Audition, and I taught myself like how to record. And I was recording for the guys, and everything was happening at my place. So when we released the album, we actually released it in school. So we had a project.
What?
Yeah, we had a project for.
That's crazy.
We had a French project that the teacher wanted us to be creative, so we decided to do an album.
And what, you produced this album?
No, it was all
from the internet.
beats
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
got it,
internet. And then when they asked us like who did the music, my friend automatically said Lipos did the music. So I was like, oh, no way, bro. You're gonna make me sound like a liar.
Oh,
So I didn't want that to happen to me. So I started going into production and learning how to do that just for the sake, and like if someone
Insane.
asked me,
You know
like,
how you did it.
I know how I did it, or approximately how I did it, and then it took me.
That's
like,
crazy.
Like now I'm more known as a producer,
Yes.
and I enjoy production more
Yeah.
than I enjoy rapping. To be
That's
honest.
insane. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
BeatLaLipos. Can we talk about the name a bit? Like, so what was like? Obviously, your name is Eli.
My name is Eli Nakhle.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I just got to know that, by the way. ladies and gentlemen. We know each other for a while. I just got to know his name is Eli. But yeah, so how did that BeatLaLipos come about?
So in school, everyone used to call me Lipos.
Lipos.
Yes, that was even before rapping.
For what? What was the...
It was a gimmick that there was an ad for Leban Post,
Okay.
the post office.
The post office, yeah?
And one time, it was a one-time thing where they created an ad for a cartoon character that looks like Superman, that delivers mail really fast, and
Okay.
they called him Lipos.
No way.
Which comes from Leban Post, Lipos.
Lipos.
So I did it as a joke to my friend who was asking me like, please, can you tell this girl this and can you tell
Okay.
this dude that? So I told him like, bro, am I Lipos from Leban Post? Go tell them yourself. So it
Bam.
was my first punchline, and he decided to call me. He told me I'm gonna make the whole school call you Lipos. So now like the whole world knows me as Lipos. No one
Yeah.
actually knows my real name.
That's insane.
And then the BeatLaLipos thing was like when I got into production really well, it was like 2010, 2011, I was working with some of the most listened to rappers back then, which are Kalash, Basboos.
Wow, shout out to
etc.
them. Yeah, of course.
So, and the guys wanted to support me and appreciate me as a producer.
Yeah.
So they started saying my name
On
in
the
the
beat.
beginning. And it was BeatLaLipos.
Rahib.
Beat, whose beat is this? It's for Lipos.
That's like a producer tag.
Exactly. And then when I started meeting people on the streets and they would know like it's me who produced the track, and they was like, oh, BeatLaLipos, BeatLaLipos.
That's crazy.
The tag stuck in. So
It
I was
stuck.
like, okay, I'm gonna go with the tag as my official name. And now it's like, it's weird when people say BeatLaLipos, and like people always confuse it, but it's a great marketing strategy.
It is. I really like the name a lot. BeatLaLipos for sure. Man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we are with somebody who's really, really passionate. I would say you're very hungry, man, and I really appreciate that. You've always been hungry. You have this soul about you, and I really, truly appreciate that. So,
Same, bro. I've seen you do your thing, bro. Even before I started rapping, like we were talking about skills, like skills.
Shout out to skills.
And 961 Underground and like the whole movement. It was like the first thing that I heard out of American hip hop. And when I first started rhyming in Arabic, I was like, are we the first people to actually do that? So I went to the internet cafe and found 961 Underground, found Skills Work, found Access Set, Ashkman.
Oh my God.
Like, and
That's
when
crazy.
And
when you found these guys, what was your reaction? Because this is incredible.
Oof. Like back then, like, and you have to consider that internet wasn't a thing in Lebanon. Like you had to be on certain specific streets to hear about those guys and etc.
Correct.
I was so surprised. I was blown away. Like, oof, there's someone doing this while I'm thinking of it in my own home. Okay, I need to see what they're doing, and they're cool.
Wow.
Like they actually did it really well, and like, okay,
I remember like with Accessed, I think it was like that video clip with Skills, right?
in the middle of
In the
the
middle of
road,
the street,
next
yeah,
to the
he's
police officer
scratching.
scratching, and like,
Powerful record too. Yeah. No,
legendary
really,
moment.
legendary moment for sure.
Legendary moment.
See, ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of scratching the surface right now with the discussions, but I want to take a short break.
Definitely, let's do it.
BeatLaLipos, I want to play a beat from your discography. We definitely want to talk about Yazeh, which is kind of your latest for sure, which we played on Yellow Home. But which one would I choose? Like,
Let's go for Rasak Marfua, since we're talking about hunger. Like this is the thing, man, that I
Rasak
learned
Marfua.
from you, from Skills.
Bless you.
So to keep the hunger going.
Rasak Marfua this is the one we're hearing. We're going to hear it fully. When was this produced? Like a couple of years ago, 3 years ago?
I actually did it in 2014,
Oh, okay.
but I felt comfortable to release it like 2022.
So when you would talk about stuff like that, obviously it's an instrumental. It's a beat, right? Or you rap
No,
on
it's
it?
I'm rapping on it.
Oh, you rap it on it. Oh, dope. I haven't heard that. What is Rasak Marfua about?
It's about keeping your head high when things are low. It's a discussion that I had with friends that I was back then trying to support, and it's at the same time me trying to support myself to keep my head up, even though like we're going through a lot of challenges, like lost people, wars that always happen in Lebanon, the struggles that you have to live through this life. So it was a message for myself and my crew to like stay hungry, keep our head high no matter what happens,
Love
like
that.
to keep pushing through.
Love that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear Rasak Marfua, which kind of translates to always keep your head up right here on Catch a Vibe, Pulse 95 Radio. I have with me a special guest in the building. His name is BeatLaLipos. Like I said, he's a producer, artist, rapper, and sound engineer. We're just really talking to him. And he was actually in the Sharjah Children Reading Festival. And we're going to definitely talk to him more about that. Keep a look. We're going to be right back.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
Only on Pulse 95 Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Peace, love, and blessings. Big Hass right here. Man, oh man. I got BeatLaLipos. He's in the building. He's this rapper, producer, sound engineer, artist from Lebanon. The beat you're hearing in the background is called You Don't Own Me, and it's a collaboration with, of course, DJ Lethal Skills. I'm loving this. What was the album called? What was that beat?
إيقاع مختلف.
إيقاع مختلف, yeah. Incredible. Go check it out. I mean, it's like what, 4 or 5
Shout
years
out
ago.
to Spaz Uno, the graffiti
Shout out
artist.
Spaz. Oh man,
who
what a
did
guy. I love this
the
guy.
artwork.
Shout out Spaz. I gotta say something before we even continue. Lebanon means so much to me. I mean, I'm from Saudi Arabia, but Lebanon has so much talent. But the problem with Lebanon is that, first of all, not a lot of people are highlighting it. I think outside Lebanon, I'm talking about. And with Lebanon, with what's going on with Lebanon, there's always this, it's always in trouble. There's always always down. So it's our job, ladies and gentlemen, to uplift it. And it's our job to keep talking about it. We talk about the art scene, the community, the music, the graffiti. So much art. In Lebanon is so much art. It's insane. So obviously it's so cool to have BeatLaLipos right here. Man, this beat, I feel like,
One of my favorites from the beat tape.
that's dope. BeatLaLipos, ladies and gentlemen, he is actually in Sharjah. He was part of the Sharjah Children Reading Festival. We're definitely going to talk about that. But Eli, aka BeatLaLipos, we gotta talk about when did you realize that you want to get into like just being an artist, like just want to. What was okay? We heard that you loved music. You started listening to Dr. Dre. You start getting into Eminem. You start feeling like the hip hop is that voice. When did you feel like, hey, listen, I wanna add to this story as well. I wanna become an artist.
So technically, when I got to university, so I have a master's degree in industrial chemistry.
Whoa.
And I work in industrial management for like 5 years.
Okay.
And like, even though when I was learning, I was working at the same time, going to the studio, making hits with some of my favorite artists and so on. And then at some point I was at work and I felt like, okay, we only live once, so I have to follow my dream.
What? Sorry,
to the fullest.
was that like a one day moment, or like was it like a period.
It was actually a period where I was like feeling a lot of stress from work, between work and studio and etc. And I felt I'm not giving enough time for music.
Okay.
And if you love something, you have to give it like your full time.
Facts.
So I was writing actually a track that I never released. It's called "Trikna Ihlam," Let Me Dream.
It's still there? It's not released?
It's not released. I still have it. For me, it's very personal. And the day I wrote this track, it was like, okay, I need to leave everything and follow my dream. So I left my job.
You quit?
I quit my job.
Oh, man.
I quit everything.
That's
and
hard.
like went with all of my saving to the studio. We had a studio back then. I was trying to make an independent record label.
Wait. This is crazy. Like, how difficult was it? That's number one. And what did the parents think about all of this?
Bro, my parents thought I'm crazy.
As an adult parent, you know, like
no one actually supported me. No one was like, okay, you're following your dream, you're doing the good thing, go for it. No, everyone was completely against it.
What's wrong with you?
But I was like, okay, we only live once. Like, you don't know what will happen.
Do you regret it? Like, looking back at it?
No. I am so blessed to have met hip-hop and to have lived this. Like, I'm here now in Sharjah. Like,
because of this?
Because of this. I've met so many amazing people. I've touched souls and souls have touched me. I went into deep experiences with it. Like, whatever happens, even if we don't get famous, even for... I don't care about all of those stuff.
Look, I think for me, I think most of the parents or the family that would think that they're just worried about how you're going to sustain, how you're going to make a living, right? Because you need to pay the rent, you need to like make a living, you need to make a family. You need to live.
Yes.
And in our part of the world, in this region, it's so hard to live only from music.
But I think parents and people in general forget, like, the main thing is for you to feel not happy but satisfied in your life.
Yes.
Like, you feel like you're accomplishing something and you're waking up every day with something you're excited to be hungry about.
This is the ultimate goal. You said it. I think this is like the big debate in terms of like, okay, would you want to, you know, you can have both, that'd be great. But there's a saying, love what you do what you love. It's a blessing.
And it's about being smart about it. Like, you have to be aware that music is hard. It's a struggle. You have to be ready to compromise in order. Like, you're not gonna quit your job, your finances, and just like go do rap and sit on the sofa and say, okay, I'm waiting for a record label to come and sign me. This never happens. And this is the problem, I think, in the Arab world. Like, rappers are waiting for the label.
Yeah. But I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, like, hearing BeatLaLipos talk, he is really respected in Lebanon, Beirut. Not only by rappers, there's so many, you know, singers and producers I've spoken to, and, you know, they always bring your name. And I think you've worked so hard to get that. I think the question, I've heard you say this a couple of times on air and off air. You mentioned the word sacrifice. Yeah. If you're comfortable, what are we talking about right here when you say sacrifice? What's the take me through it?
Time away from your family, from your best friends,
loved ones,
from the girl you love, from like time.
Some people might not understand that.
Definitely. And a lot of time, like, you sacrifice your luxury. Like, a lot of times I spent going to the studio, making a hit, and coming back at home. I don't know if the gas that I have in my car will make me reach my place, yes or not. But I was like, okay, if it didn't, okay, I'll park my car somewhere and keep walking.
Wow.
So this was the hunger that I had.
That's why I connected with Eminem like that. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
But see, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, when did this happen? What years are we talking about when you first started? Like, what was it?
So I started hip-hop in 2010.
2010.
And I quit my job in 2017.
Wow.
Like, the first time I decided to quit, because I was trying to build a studio and a record label. The project got butchered, let's say, like everything that happens when you're working as Lebanese people, to be very specific. So I had to go get back another job at another industry. It lasted like 6 months, and I was like...
You went back to it.
I was in my office doing beats and...
Crazy. If somebody's listening right now, they're like, okay, BeatLaLipos, cool. But take me through the Lebanese community, at least hip-hop wise or music wise. How are we doing? What's the style? What's the vibe right now? Knowing that Lebanon's been going through a tough time and is going through a tough time right now.
like now, like the things that were happening from 2018 till now, Lebanon is being still with everything that is happening. Lebanon is being a hub for all the Arab artists to come and perform.
That is a fact.
Like I've met a lot of like I'm gonna shout out Synaptic. Shout out Freak, shout out Idrisi, Zed Khaled, like to name a few of those who came, and like. You see a lot of fans of Arabic hip-hop. It's not like I think they listen more to Arab hip-hop than they listen to Lebanese hip-hop.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So
I also noticed that. Why do you think so? Like, because that's a really good point that you bring up.
Like, we can talk hours about this, but like, to summarize it, I think the Lebanese rappers in general are more influenced by the West and the media that comes out from the West, while the whole Arab rappers are influenced by the Arab world,
by their culture.
So this is the disconnect that rappers have with their own culture. This is one of the main factors.
I mean, I know that both me and you like look at Ed Abbas, who's incredible. Like he's like an OG, legend, right?
I owe this dude a lot. Like, yes, he helped me. He paved my way. Like,
look, listen. If he listened to this later, what do you tell him? If Ed Abbas heard this right now,
I have some people that I will shout out. One of them is Lethal Skills. So Lethal Skills held the hip hop scene on his back.
Big round of applause.
And Ed Abbas,
yes.
After Skills left, Ed was putting opportunities.
Facts.
Like he held the scene, and when Ed left, we all realized the heavyweight, and like what missed because of him leaving.
Wow.
Yeah, he left a lot. He's a legend.
Yeah, he is, mashallah.
He'll always be a legend.
You know, like I call him our MF Doom, like, you know, in the region. He's the guy. Google MF Doom, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know. But okay, so that's really interesting, obviously, to get to know your story like that.
And now, like, I was trying for the last like 10 years to do what Skills and Ed.
I was gonna say that. I think hanging around or being inspired from people like DJ Lethal Skills and, you know, Ed Abbas and Feel Atrash and all, just incredible. I get it. Especially at the time where you're like kind of got into it. This is kind of really important.
Those are my heroes, man. Those were my heroes, and I'm blessed to have worked with my heroes. Honestly.
Yes, I was gonna say that. Isn't it amazing to have worked with people that you looked up to?
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's beyond.
But I think I think it's hunger. I believe it's hunger that got you where you are. Talent for sure. Don't get me wrong.
I believe in hard work more than talent.
You know, in my opinion, especially with you, you were always there. You're always available, always willing to listen, always willing to learn.
Exactly.
There was no ego. That all these things kind of clicked, and hence why these people that you call heroes connected with you based on that.
Definitely.
And I think this is incredible. I've heard this from so many legends, like basketball-wise. When they see a hungry kid,
definitely,
who has no ego, they work with him.
Even now, when I'm like, I have it as a philosophy, when I'm trying to support the new local acts out of Lebanon, I look at hard work and I don't look at talent. Talent is not enough.
That's
you can be like the most talented, but if you're not ready to put in the work, a lot of talented people stopped because of not doing hard work.
That's crazy. Listen, I gotta talk about you know, obviously you know, Zen.
Yeah, Zen.
808
Dabke project.
I gotta talk about that. So tell me a little bit about how did the idea, you know, kind of start with you? And I can't wait. This is obviously the first track from the 808, you know, Dabke project. But tell me about the record itself, and tell me more about the 808.
So 2021, after Lebanon revolution, after the explosion, after COVID, after everything, I started asking, like, why am I keeping myself in the country and fighting so hard for it? Like, what's in it that is keeping me? What's that love? How to explain that love? So I went back to the history of Lebanon, like studied it, and so on, like on a very deep level. And I reached a point where I'm like, okay, we don't have a sound of our own. And I realized that with, like, of course, like, we can talk about like World War I, World War II, colonialization, and so on. Yeah. But like the influence of technology, we thought that everything is coming from the West is always better. Like we all had this, and specifically in Lebanon.
Yeah.
So at some point, even our pop music and everything that we do became similar to the West. And even like the hip hop that we do is very inspired from the West, and I love it. It changed my life.
Yeah.
But I felt at some point that going back through old vinyls, going back to tracks from the 70s, from the 80s,
Yeah.
from the 60s, like by Lebanese people,
Yeah.
I noticed that our folk stopped its evolution. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to first like create a sound that would distinguish me from other producers.
Facts.
And to create a sound for Lebanon, to have an identity for Lebanon, and to ask this question: what is a Lebanese sound? What is a Lebanese person? Like, what is Lebanon exactly?
That's crazy.
So I went through that process. It took like 3 years of research and trying to meet people, trying to get some old vinyls, listen, study it.
Really? Wow.
And I saw the growth of Amapiano, to be honest, and I was
yeah.
like, if South Africa can do it, why not us?
So 808 Debke is all that.
Yes, and I called it 808 Dabke because, like, I think Arabic music is not crossing worldwide. It's now beginning to cross
Yes,
worldwide, but it's not crossing this much because production technique speaking, we don't have the low end bass.
I get it.
We don't have this music that can be played in festival. You hear the bass. So I called it 808 Dabke specifically because Dabke is not only Lebanese. And this is what I want to deliver. Like, I want the whole Arab world to create their own version of 808 Dabke.
Yeah.
I want to hear the Emirati 808 Dabke version. I want to hear the Saudi 808 Dabke, the Egyptian, the so on, so on.
I think it's super cool what you're doing because I think I was going to say that with Egypt, they found their sound in a way.
Exactly.
Right now, there is an Egyptian type beat.
Trap Shabi, they called it.
Exactly. And shout out to the producers because they
Definitely.
pushed it.
Molotov was one of the first ones.
Exactly.
Al-Waili.
Al-Waili, Wizza. There's so many.
Yes.
Even Marwan Musa.
Definitely.
Everyone. But what you said was interesting because I think there is not one kind of recipe to make that happen, for me, in my opinion, because the Arab region is so diverse. Like what you see in North Africa is different than Bilad al-Sham, is different than the GCC. Everyone has their own kind of recipe.
But production-wise, when we're talking about production techniques, there is one recipe. It's like, okay, so if we will listen to the 808 Dabke, and I will let you listen to the tracks before the album drop.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
And you'll notice that the formula is there. What I'm doing, and I'm telling out my secret to the people, that I'm taking our folk music and I'm replacing the sounds with modern sounds.
Yeah.
And 808 is the main focus because in all of our music in the region, we have the tabl that is very essential.
I get it.
So the tabl
So
was
technically,
like...
I get it.
So I'm giving out the formula, please.
Man.
Producers, do it. Please, I'm dying for it.
Bless. And 808 Debke is going to be released, this year? Or what are we talking
Definitely in May.
May.
We're talking like half of May, but because I'm moving my life to Canada right now...
Yeah, we got to talk about that, yeah. We're definitely talking about that. But... let's talk about Yazen specifically because the story is really incredible. This track sampled a song by Farajalla Bayda.
Farajalla Bayda is he was born in 1800 something, and he co-founded the first record label in the Middle East
1920.
in 1907.
1907, yes.
1907, the record label is called Baydaphone. And when I did all of my research and got to this track, I was blown away by even some article that was talking about him. They spoke that his voice was so loud and pure that they heard it from across another area.
Oh, wow.
People would all shut up and just listen to him.
But how did you find this story? Digging as well.
Yeah, digging.
That's crazy.
Digging. I was researching a lot, going into YouTube, from channel to channel, from websites. There is a cool website the website that helped me find this track is a website called Radio with 5O.
Wow.
So it's a website, I don't know who created it, but this person is a genius. You have the word map.
That's
and
crazy.
You click on a country and you go back in time frame. So you have 1910, 1920, etc.
That's
what? And this is how I understood that the track is before 1920.
Wow.
Because if you press on 1920, you can hear the track. And if you press on anything before, you only hear this track. This is the only track, I think, that dates this long.
Man. We played it on Yalla Home. We're going to play it again right now fully. How does it feel to have this record play on the radio, just like on the FM?
Bro,
How does that make you feel? Anything at all?
I was shaking when you first played it. I was shaking. It was full of adrenaline rush.
Man.
Like I couldn't believe.
Oh, bless you, my brother.
And like this means to me more than playing it on a big crowd, like for 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people. Like
Bless.
the people who really understand what I'm trying to do. Like,
Yes.
because for me, like this identity, if we assimilate this identity and we realize as Lebanese people what we have created for so long and go back to the essential root of being Lebanese and not fight over whatever is happening right now, we have.
Big round of applause right there.
So I want to push that
Yeah.
and I want to spread that. And like Tupac said something, if I'm not gonna be the person who would change the world, I would like to be the person who would inspire the
Yeah.
person who would,
The
or
dark-
inspire
the
that
spark.
inspire them.
Man, this is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a great time with BeatLaLipos. Let's hear Yazin by BeatLaLipos, of course, part of his album that's coming up real soon called 808 Debke. And he just spoke to us about it. But this is really, really interesting. Get to know Lebanon, get to know the Arab region, and get to know really pure passion. Keep it live. We're going to be right back with BeatLaLipos right here on Pulse 95.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, right here, Pulse 95 Radio, catch a vibe with me, Big Hass, every Saturday and Sunday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, the beat in the background is by Uncle Bugsy, or Bugsy. Yeah, shout out to
Very
Bugsy. Why am I talking about beats? Because we got an incredible producer right here. His name is BeatLaLipos. He's a producer, rapper, an artist, sound engineer. But I think most importantly, really a hungry soul. Like when I hungry, passionate. This dude right here got to where he is because of, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what I know, because of pure hard work. Now, some people, of course, the talent exists, the talent is there, but the hard work for me, I guess this is what's inspiring. And you can imagine my shock when I was emceeing the Sharjah Animation Conference, ladies and gentlemen. I was like doing my thing, and then all of a sudden I look, and I gave a double look. There was somebody taking a video of me. And I was like, what? I know that human being. And it was him. I didn't know that he was obviously here in Sharjah, rocking the Sharjah Children Reading Festival. So, BeatLaLipos or Ili, I gotta ask you, how did that connection happen? And I know that you've been on social media recently, and you talked so much about Sharjah and how we're treating you so.
I love it. I love it. I didn't imagine I'm gonna love it this much.
It's your first time,
love
obviously, here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, everyone is so nice. People are amazingly insane, like insanely nice. Like, I know, but it makes you shy. It makes you become shy. Like, please don't
Bless.
over treat me this good.
Oh man, bless.
Amazing people.
How did that happen?
So I have to shout out Sarah and Bassam, who invited me here.
Shout out Sarah Bassam.
Sarah Mizer. So they had this idea of doing rap workshop for kids, and
Interesting.
and Sarah knows me from like the events and from the hip hop scene.
Okay.
In Lebanon,
Okay.
we talk. We're friends. So she reached out for it, and I was so happy.
If you don't mind me asking, where is that rap workshop taking place? Where did it take place?
It's taking place in the School of Talents inside the
okay. And it's called Rap Workshop.
It's called Rap Workshop.
So now this is really interesting.
Yeah.
So take me through the experience. Obviously, it ended right now, but take me through
we still have
but it's all good.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
take me through the experience about like how did it go? How did you see the reaction from the kids? What was the
Oof.
what was the reaction like?
I was surprised. Like I was thinking about like how do I do this workshop? So I already did 2 workshops in Lebanon, like very big workshops. I taught kids, but it was mainly like people older than 15 years old.
Okay.
So with this this workshop, like
What were the ages like?
8 and above.
Wow, that's really young as well.
And most of them like don't even know what rap is. So I have like around 45 minutes to explain what is rap to a child and to make them interested about it.
So take me through the workshop. So you explain a little bit, and then
So I asked them what do they know about rap,
Okay.
and they start giving me ideas. So I try to correct it in a sense where like rap, it's a new form of poetry. It's done over music.
Nice.
The main influence of the main essence of it is rhyming and working on rhymes. So I teach them what is
Super
rhyming.
cool.
We do some exercises, and then I get like the 15 kids in the class around table.
Cypher.
And like we have a big paper, and we start choosing topics. They choose the topic,
Super
and
cool.
we start writing a verse. And then I put the beat for them, and they all sing it over it.
Man.
Yeah,
So
it's like a small introduction to our world.
But yeah, that's amazing. What's their reaction like from people after they're done?
Like I've been meeting kids in the expo, like who come the next day and the day after, and like, and some kids like they touched me so much in a sense where. Like I had this girl who came in with her notebook.
Yeah.
She was like, I write poetry. Can you read this poem for me and tell me what you feel? And this poem was like, she's talking about how the wind is her best friend.
Wow.
And how the wind is
that's
her friend and giving her solace. And she's using like those eloquent words that
super cool.
We sometimes we don't use in hip hop.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this kid is so good with her words, like more than I am, even like amazing.
That's amazing, man.
Amazing.
Like like how does that make you feel? Like you're impacting this young. You never know, because listen, Elite,
you never
know who you impacted.
Exactly.
Like a few years later, 5-6 years from now.
I was blessed to have this experience in Lebanon where I gave 2 workshops. I taught once an after-class program at a school, and like I was contacted by a couple of people like years after, or even people that I didn't give workshop to. Like I could never imagine like me as a kid listening to Skills and to Ed and all those guys that I would be the one to impact someone to start music production.
Insane.
So
right? Yeah, that's insane.
Like I came to peace with it. Like just do your thing.
But see, that's hunger, man. Like that's hunger, that's passion, and that's also very hip hop. Hip hop is all about giving back,
and it's about like touching the soul, and not like I don't care about fame and whatever. It's about like more the human connection. I love the experience.
So your first experience in Sharjah, like kind of take me through it. Like, what is it that you think about Sharjah right now?
Man, I feel like honestly, if you want to raise a family, I would come here.
Oh man, bless.
Like even like the whole expo. Like imagine like the amount of effort, amount of money, amount of everything. Like the dedication they're doing to inspire kids and like to give them rap workshops, like art crafts. Brain thinking workshops, like you have the animation. The animation.
The conference was good.
It was insane. Like what's the name of the dude? I forgot the name.
Andreas Deja. Like he's the guy who created like Scar and
Scar impacted my childhood. Like when I was like around 3 years old, I didn't speak before reaching 3 years old. So my grandparents, who were like most of the time raising me back then, they would put the Lion King cassette on repeat for me. It's like seeing this person and listening to the story of Hans Zimmer as a hungry producer also, like that was
I saw that you
like, and we don't have this in Lebanon, like
bless, man. So, inshallah, I mean
much respect for what Sharjah is doing for its
respect
people.
to you, my brother. And so today, ladies and gentlemen, like earlier I was kind of just chilling on IG, and I saw like BeatLaLipos rapping in Arabic, and it was rapping about the SCRF somehow in a way, and he put in all the everything, all the activities that are happening there in a rap beat, and it's like, hey, we're meeting tonight. I mean, you wanna do it live, and he's like, okay, let's do it.
Sure, man, let's do it.
But that's super cool. But this is really, really cool. So I'm gonna play the beat right now for you.
I'm gonna use my phone because literally I wrote the lyrics yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But one of the cool things, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely go follow him. BeatLaLipos. He's incredible. We still have one more segment to go. But yeah, this is BeatLaLipos. Take it away.
Yeah. Shout out Big Hass. Shout out Sharjah.
Shout out to you.
Yeah. Shout out the expo. Let's go. اسم عم مسمى وهي الكل سابقة من عاصمة الثقافة شمس المعرفة شارقة حملة الرسالة اللي عطوها اياها جدادة مثل الأم الحنونة شوفها كيف تهتم بولادها عم تبني أجيال معمرتلن ورشات صدقوني قد ما عد معقول انسى شغلات بتحب تكتب تعلم رايتنج فور تشينج أو طبخ لتغذي البطن ومهارات بتغذي البرين. بتحب الرسم والفاشن أو تصميم قطع فنية. يوغا لتهتم بالصحة العقلية والجسدية. تعلم سحر العلوم أو الفنون الرقمية أو طالع حتى نغير جو ونحضر مسرحية. بتحب الهيب هوب والراب make sure to tell your parents. طالع عندي لاقيني بالسكول اوف تالنتس بمهرجان الشارقة. التاريخ بيطلع من عنا لنكتب للمستقبل. نحن أبطال قصتنا.
Oh man, I love that. Yo, so I love that. I love that when I heard that. This is super cool. But again, this shows really how passionate you are.
Definitely,
man, incredible. Listen, we're gonna take a short break, but I want to play a record. We were talking about this. هلا معلي.
So
there's a story right there.
Yes, so it's a track that I'm rapping and singing.
Okay.
And it's produced by one dude that I want to shout him up. He's called Doobs in the Trap.
Okay.
He was one of my music production students.
He produced this?
He produced this for me.
Let's go. I'm about to hear it as well. What's his name again? Doobs.
Adib. Shout out to Adib.
How do you spell it?
DOOBZ.
Shout out to him.
Adib Horani, shout out.
Man. All right, let's hear it right now.
Yeah.
Your track is playing on the radio. Keep it locked. We're going to be right back with BeatLaLipos.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95.
Catch a vibe, ladies and gentlemen, right here on Pulse 95 Radio. Big Hass, BeatLaLipos. Incredible producer, sound engineer, rapper, artist from Lebanon. Specifically Zahle, Beirut. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Lebanon. Big round of applause for Lebanon. And definitely, I want to take this chance to wish Lebanon all the best. What a beautiful country it is. The culture is so super dope there. And there was a lot of people that obviously started from Lebanon and took Lebanon as a home. When no other country really did. Lebanon really did that. And the beat in the background, ladies and gentlemen, it is done by this man, BeatLaLipos. And it's called بين الشجر, right?
بين الشجر.
Between the trees. All right, man. Towards the end, and I want to thank you for your time, of course.
Habibi.
I want to talk more emotions right now with you. So I like to start with challenges. You faced a lot of challenges as a young man, especially in Lebanon. I want you to pick one challenge and talk to me about it. What was that challenge? How did you pass through the challenge or didn't pass through it? Tell me about one challenge that you faced during your music career.
Honestly, the biggest challenge I can talk about is living through Lebanon with the whole economic crisis and everything that is happening. So what happened in 2019 is like the whole economy crashed, and we took the streets to ask for our basic rights. And I had this experience like in 2012 at university. So I did something similar. Like what hip hop did to me is like it gave me another identity other than the smaller sects of Lebanese identity.
Wow.
So it opened my mind to like.
I wish Kool Herc can hear that.
Oof.
DJ Kool Herc was the father of hip hop.
Man, whoever thought that this would happen.
Exactly.
So it opened my mind and gave me another identity, and I started realizing that what politicians did to us is like to divide us. So I started understanding that there is more in common between all of us, more than they say there isn't, and like try to make us fight. So I had this experience at university that I went to election in times where no one was talking about it. I faced a lot of struggles in university. I got threatened. I can like name a lot, like threatened from dean level of the university to like supporters of political parties trying to attack me and so on. Like it went really crazy.
Okay.
And after that experience, like I fought hard trying to convince people like this is the good thing we're doing. But
what was that challenge like for you here? Like this whole period was a challenging thing for you.
Like it was just like, so I don't come from a rich family. I come from a very modest family.
Bless.
My father invested his savings in giving us good education.
Bless.
So between that, giving my time to my music, to the studio, to working with rappers, working on my own music, to focus on my degree, and chemistry is very difficult. It's so to focus on that and then to at the same time make time to organize, to to have discussions with people about what can we do to convince others that we're trying to open something new, like we need to unite, and then being faced by people who get nothing from bashing you, trying to destroy you, trying to...
This is crazy. As I'm listening to you, this is like the story of a lot of Lebanese, though. This, you know, like living in Lebanon. So I totally get it. In that tornado or asar, or you know, that you were going through, what did music play a role? Like, did it somehow kind of save you from all of that?
When after like with the whole experience of the election at university, at some points I was like super down. Like I achieved something. I saw the butterfly effect of what I did with other people who did the same in different universities and etc. But at some point it was like all this struggle, all this fighting, all this, for what did I get? I was still broke. I was still not achieving anything.
It tired you.
The situation in the country was very difficult, and I had nothing but music to actually give me a little bit of solace, you know? Like I spoke my heart out, and like one of the things that I wrote was Tripnol, you know, the Tripnol album with Ad Abbas and Feel.
Oh my God.
So I have a track called track number 5 in that album that talks specifically about this experience. And this track, I sampled it from a CD that I got from a woman, a random woman that I was with my parents at a restaurant, and they were playing some Greek Armenian music. I didn't know what that was. So I went and asked the owner of the restaurant, like, can I have the music? Can someone just tell me the name? And it was a random woman who put the CD in the restaurant.
That's insane.
And I went and spoke to her, and I was asking her, like, I don't know why this music impacted me so much. And I was asking her, what is he talking about in the track? And she was telling me about the Armenian Revolution, and it was a track about that. So
that impacted you.
That impacted me a lot, and I was like, oh, okay. So this is why I called the track 5, because at the end she gave me the CD.
Crazy.
And I don't know what the name of the track is.
So it's track 5. But was it track 5?
It was track 5.
That's crazy.
So,
but that's, I mean, thank you so much for opening up about that. I think that's super important for people to realize. Obviously, right now, Ili, aka BeatLaLipos, you're embarking on a big journey. You're moving out of Lebanon. Bless. I mean, sometimes it's, when I hear that, I feel happy, but at the same time sad. I'm not sure if this is how you feel.
Yeah.
But tell me where you're going, and what do you have planned?
So I'm going to Montreal.
Montreal.
I have my best friend. I know this guy since I was 3 years old.
Okay.
So
What's his name?
George Abu Qasim, JK. He was with me in Junud Beirut.
Shout out to him.
Shout out JK. Shout out Shaq also. Like Shaq and JK are like my brothers. Like we have this soul connection.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I am super ready.
Okay.
I am super ready. Like the whole 808 Dabke project is making me like give back to Lebanon everything that I already gave so much, and it's my last thing that I need to give to Lebanon. But at the end, and I was telling you like about the community of hip hop producers that I'm trying to make, and so on, pushing the new generation of hip hop, Lebanese hip hop, and the 808 Dabke project. And I think at some point I need now to take care of myself, because now I'm almost 32.
Bless.
So I've sacrificed a lot of my life, and I need to take care of myself. So
go ahead.
So going back to my plans, I'm going to try have some kind of stable life after freelancing in hip-hop music for like 8 years now.
Crazy.
In Lebanon.
Oh, wow.
And I have a plan for the Arab community there, for
nice.
Everyone in the West who's like us, who's an immigrant there, and definitely try to make them listen to what's happening here, bridge them back to the roots.
When you're talking right now to me, is there any sort of, it's not about nervous, but are you sad that you reached this level, that you had to leave?
I thought about this too much, and at some point I'm not this much sad, because like coming here to Sharjah and living this experience, it made me realize how anxious I was every day living in Lebanon.
Wow.
How much stress I was holding, how much I was sacrificing from myself. And you reach a certain point in life where you're like, okay, I gave a lot. It's now to try. I need to try to take care of myself. I know a lot about Lebanon right now. I'm giving still to Lebanon this project. And now I'm like, okay, it's now about a new journey.
Wow.
And who knows, like the history of Lebanon has been full of people who are immigrants coming back, bringing something new, trying to help Lebanon. So maybe I will be one of those people who know, like, I'm just open to like the whole life journey and life experience. And
SubhanAllah, he said journey. I swear I didn't know. I'm playing journey. We're doing that, ladies and gentlemen. Man, oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, you know, this could be like the last time I see you before you head out. And I just want to say to you, Eli, aka BeatLaLipos, two things. One, thank you so much for walking with me as always. And always showing me love personally, on a personal level.
Always, man.
People like me don't get a lot of love like that. So thank you so much for that. Second of all, thank you for the hard work. And although maybe we have not maybe connected a lot, but I've always seen your steps and how you move and how you maneuver and the hard work. The fact that you worked with some of your biggest names in Lebanon and even the Arab region, and for me that is really big. That shows that you're passionate. And for me that counts to something. So a big round of applause.
Bro, Habibi.
Wallah, you deserve the best.
I've been like, I'm not saying this in your face, like we spoke about this like so many times.
We did.
I talk with skills about it.
Oh,
like
bless.
you're not appreciated enough.
Bless you, man.
In the Arab community, and like this is how the world is. Like I hope you like you still find this hunger in you that
I'm trying.
At the end you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
And people like me, I'm sure are seeing this.
Oh man, bless. And that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that this comments and this conversation really connects with me and kind of revives me, because when you've been doing it since 2006 or 7, that either the fuel comes out and, like you said, the passion goes away, and when you don't get enough credit and all that, that this is human nature. But
definitely.
But man, seriously incredible. Now my last question is, what would be like a so you're going to Canada.
Yes.
What's the ultimate dream from now on? What's the dream for BeatLaLipos that you can look back at this interview and like, okay, hey, I achieved that? What's the dream in the next 4 or 5 years, let's say?
Even though like I have a tattoo on me that says "Let me dream" in Arabic, in Arabic calligraphy.
خليني أحلم يعني ولا؟
تركني أحلم.
تركني أحلم.
Let me dream.
Let me dream.
It's in Lebanese. It's next to my heart, because this is how much I appreciate my dreams. Like now I just like the biggest dream that I have is to be able to have a good life where I impact the most positive way I can impact for the people around me, for the people who love me.
You did.
This is it,
man.
Whatever happens, happens.
Man, you did. You just told me about a couple of artists from Lebanon. I'm gonna support these guys. I'm gonna push them.
Definitely.
And you impact them. I would have never known about them if it wasn't through you.
Definitely.
So that's amazing.
Can we shout them out?
Yeah,
shout
let's
out,
do it.
Hadi, Dr. Organs.
Let's
Shout out Lebanese Track and the whole Mahada Hon crew. Shout out Waisef. Shout out everyone who's still in Lebanon doing the best they can so they can put out music.
Listen, put you on the spot right here.
Let's do it.
If you want to pass the torch, right, to a producer in Lebanon right now, who would it be? Give me a name. We're just playing right now, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, there's so many people in Lebanon. There's some amazing producers, legends.
Definitely.
But if someone would ask you, BeatLaLipos, you're leaving Lebanon, and right now we need to have a producer in Lebanon who's gonna take over.
Who's gonna do what I did?
Yes.
And in a sense,
in a way.
Hadi.
Really?
Hadi, Dr. Organs.
Damn!
Yeah.
Shout out Hadi.
And what I love, bro, about this dude is like he's a genuine soul. He's a good soul.
Man, I love that.
Yeah. He's a hard worker too.
Yeah. Yo, Hadi, if you're watching this, where's my camera? If you're watching this, I'm connecting with you, my man.
Definitely, let's do it.
But seriously, our time is up. But this is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. What a guy, what a human being.
Bro,
amazing. What can we play right now to end there? Like, what do we say goodbye with?
Random track or one of my tracks?
One of your tracks. Let's go with one of your tracks.
One of my tracks.
Anything at all.
I'll
put you on the spot. What's like a track that is really like the most important record for you? Did we play it already?
Yeah,
Was it-
we
did.
played هلا ما عليه هلا ما
Okay.
عليه.
This
like-
is it.
Yeah, it was a track that I spent like 2-3 years not writing anything, and
Okay.
then هلا ما عليه was like the track that helped me
Huh.
like
Okay. We
get
gotta-
at ease with it.
we
Like,
gotta-
if you want, we can play. Like
Okay.
I want to play Kendrick. All right,
Okay.
we're gonna be all right.
We're gonna be alright. Let's do
So
that.
after everything that has happened, with all the hunger, like with all the struggles that
love
we have
that.
been through, I hope we're gonna be all
I
right.
love that. Kendrick. All right, that's cool. Well, inshallah, Diamond will be okay. Shout out to you, BeatLaLipos, ladies and gentlemen. Go follow him. What's your Instagram, real quick?
BeatLaLipos. BeatLaLipos. LaLipos.
That's
Everywhere.
it. That's it.
YouTube, BeatLaLipos.com, website, Instagram, TikTok.
You have a website?
Yeah, I have
That's
a
super
website.
cool. Okay, dope.
Yeah. It has my released work and
Really?
my professional work. So
That's dope.
I do ads. I do a lot of stuff.
That's for another session for sure.
Yeah.
But BeatLaLipos, what a guy, what a human being, what a
Habibi, bro.
beautiful artist, amazing artist, producer. We haven't even spoken about his engineering and what he's done. So
and
to be honest,
DJing and playing
DJing.
Arabic hip hop and
Shout out to that. I want to listen. I mean, shout out to that.
Definitely.
Big respect.
definitely. And we want DJs. I'm gonna shout
Yeah.
DJs here, and we want DJs to play Arabic hip hop in the
Do it.
clubs.
100%.
Let's push DJs to play
100%.
Arabic hip hop in clubs.
I mean,
full sets of Arabic. This is
important.
what I was been doing for the last 3 years.
And it's
in
important.
Lebanon.
And look at you, mashallah, you're doing great. Anytime someone like Synaptic will come to Lebanon, they'll get you to open for
Definitely.
him because it's all about Arabic hip hop. Love it, man. Our time is up, so we're gonna be seeing you guys hopefully soon on another episode of Catch a Vibe. Right now, it's Kendrick Lamar. BeatLaLipos, have a beautiful journey to Canada.
bro.
Love you, peace,
Love you, man.
and love. And we say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Let's go.
Salam.